Hi guys, welcome to Sampoorna, the holistic well-being program with you, me, and us together. And we are right now discussing on relationship management series, all about relationships. We have been discussing some simple, but very profound insights on how do you develop relationships, how do you build a relationship. In last session, I spoke about how do you nurture relationships. So here today I will discuss few points. Till now I have shared with all of you what all to do in relationships. Today I will discuss with you what you definitely should not do if you want to have great relationships in your life. So let's go point by point. Those of you have been keeping a track of the session, it will be a continuity for you. And even if those of you are watching this for the first time, I think you can still relate with the subject because relationship is something which we all deal with it, relate with it on a daily basis. So every point, even if you pick up a single point from today's session, I think it will do a lot good to you and your relationships. It's almost like the most beautiful part of our life is relationships. I've been to Bhutan for 8 days for my wandering monks, the spiritual nature adventure that we have regularly nowadays. Along with me, I had 20 more people who had been with me for 8 days. All those 20 people along with me, 21 of us when we came back, that is on Saturday when we came back. If you ask me, and if you ask them also honestly, none of them were the same people who joined me 8 days back. 8 days later, they have been so new, so different. So much about them has changed in their energy levels, in their thought process, in their emotional domain, the way they feel. I happened to speak to one of the couple, I think last night, and they said, we have been to so many trips, and we always come back from the trips tired, stressed. There's something called holiday stress. Can you imagine this? And but we are with this trip after this we are feeling, both of us feeling so happy, so excited, so energetic, so regenerated. And the wife, who was suffering from a lot of neck pain and a lot of health issues, was like absolutely free from all the health issues. Nature is a big healer. Nothing is more healing than nature, and she was absolutely fantastic. She was being absolutely great. And all this thing happened. This happened with almost everybody in the wandering monks. Now, what I'm trying to convey to all of you is this. At the end of the eighth day, when we came back, all of us were different people, changed people. Now, when all of us we went to our back to our homes, to our relationships, there is new excitement, new energy, everything looks different. But the people whom we are now meeting after 8 days, for them, they know the one who went 8 days back. They have no idea about what all has happened, transpired in this 8 days, what all changes they would have gone through, what all experiences they have gone through, and because of which they seem to be very new people. So, people who were there back in their homes, they only know the person who left 8 days back. So, they still have the perception of the person, of that person whom they send to wandering monks to Bhutan with me for 8 days. But 8 days later, this new person is come back. Look at the whole strange thing here is I came back home, especially my wife, my mom, they only knew the person called me who left for Bhutan 8 days back. Same is true with all 21 people. But in 8 days, I have changed so much. I feel more mature. I feel more clear with a lot of things. Maybe I had made some decisions in my mind that Now onwards, I will behave with Vaishali differently. I will relate with my mom very differently. I will parent Arya very differently, and I'll work with my team very differently. I would have made my changes in me in this 8 days because I had a lot of time to contemplate, think, input which I got. I've changed so much. Two mistakes that happen. One, I come back from Bhutan, from wandering monks, as a new person, as a changed person. I change, and mistake I have done is I don't come back and update my change to my family or to my office people. This is what I have gone through. This is what has happened in those 8 days. I've changed a lot. I've made some decisions. I've made some corrections in my behavior. And now onward, this is how I will relate with you, or these are the things that has gone into my head in last 8 days. So I have changed and I have not updated my change. First mistake that happens in relationship. People change and they do not update their changes to the other in the relationship or to all those who matter a lot to them on a regular basis in the relationship. First mistake. Second mistake is Vaishali, my wife, my mom, they see me come back, change in my behavior, the way I'm relating. They still have the old perception about me. 8 days back, who I was, what I was, how I used to relate and behave. They still hold me with the same perception and look at me with the same perception, but I'm a changed person, right? But they're looking at a changed person with the old perception. I repeat. So my family is looking at me, the new person, the changed person, with the old perception. So for them, they're not able to see the changes in me, or they see I'm behaving a little weird, or a little dramatic, or some acting I'm doing. So they don't change the perception. Second mistake is we in relationship do not renew our perception about the other person, and this keeps happening regularly. See, you cannot step in the same river twice. It's a beautiful proverb. You cannot step into the same river twice. Once you have stepped in the river and you remove your leg back, your feet back, or your foot back, again when you put back your foot inside, your leg inside, so much water has passed in the river. And last time it was your dry foot which you put inside, or the dry leg which you put inside. This time the leg itself is new, it is different, it is wet leg going inside. You cannot step in the same river twice because so much water has gone, so much water has passed by, and your leg is no more the same leg which you put back last time. Same is in relationship, same is in the world. I know for people, I remember Arya, my son, and if Vaishal is watching it, our son, when Arya went to, I think, Nepal in school days, they went to a Nepal trip by train, I think 15 days. In 15 days, he met so many new people. He lived in so many new places, sometime in hostels, sometime in hotels, sometime living in cold, sometime in too much of heat. And he went through multiple experiences. So 15 days back, when he comes back, he's not the same Arya who went to Nepal trip 15 days back. If I do not, or we do not change perception or renew perception about what, so if we have to sit with and ask him, so in 15 days, you tell me what happened, what it transpired, what all went through you, what all you went through, and he might come and tell, "Okay, this is what happened. Now I've understood few things. I've understood this, that thing. I've realized few things." And like that, when he updates a lot of his changes, and then after listening to his changes, we renew our perception about our son. I think the relationship is going absolutely right level. So one mistake, if Arya comes back from the trip and doesn't share any of his experiences or what he has gone through, he doesn't update his changes. So we do not know what he has gone through, and we keep relating with him with the old perception, which itself is wrong. And even after he has come and updated his changes, what he has gone through, we do not renew our perception because people are not same. Every day is new. Nothing about nature repeats. Come on here. Every day is different, every sunrise is different, every sunset is different, every sky is different, every cloud is different, every experience, every moment of the day is new and new and new. And if we do not renew our perception about the other person, I think there will be always a tremendous amount of gap that keeps increasing in relationship. And when the gap between relationship keep increasing, it is difficult for people to relate with each other. I'll give you multiple examples to you. I got married, and after I got married, and this all of you who have got married would have gone through this. My friends started telling me after a few days, "Hey, you have changed a lot after marriage." And I've been typical man that time. I did not know about all these things in my life. I kept justifying to them, explaining, "Nahi yaar, nothing has happened. I'm still the same person, same old friend of yours." And I was like fooling myself and fooling them, because you tell me you go through a new relationship in your life, something like as profound and as deep as marriage, where you suddenly start sharing your room, your bed, everything of you, including your body and mind and soul, with a person, sometimes a stranger, sometimes a loved one of yours. You think nothing about you will change. And we try to maintain that I am not changed. Really, you go through a relationship like marriage, you go through a marriage process, and you won't be changed. You will change. What is the harm? I didn't understand that time. Today I understand. A new relationship comes to your life and it creates its own impact, its own influence, and you will change. Maybe for good, maybe for bad. But you cannot be the same again. You have any new relationship in your life, good or bad, it will have its own impact on your life. And you will be a different person altogether. And you should be able to go and tell, I think recently I've been going through something and I've changed here and here. You should be able to go and update your change in the relationship. And other people should be able to renew the perception about you. I think we are online in relationship. Businessmen, they go through ups and downs in business, and every time they go through a very successful peaks they achieve, something about their change. I have seen people becoming egoistic, I've seen people becoming arrogant, I have people becoming humble, I've seen people becoming everything. And I also seen people who go through losses in business and they go in depression, or sometimes they become bitter in life. Oh, you have changed. Every experience changes you. The problem here is, now when you see, we are not islands. We discussed in the previous sessions of relationship management series. We are not islands. People need people. We need people. So whether you are on a success trip or you're in a failure trip right now, where will you go and share with people, right? If you just come back with an off mood and people keep wondering what happened to you, there will be misunderstandings. You suddenly come back jumping, excited, people are confused. What happened to you? Got mad or what? Success got into your head or what? And now there will be issues in the family or in the relationship to deal with it. Why? Because you just don't come back and update your changes, and they don't renew their perception about you. You get married and you will change. You are fooling yourself. Anybody, you're fooling yourself if you're saying that, yeah, I just got married and nothing about me has changed. Not possible. How it is possible that you get married, live with a new person on a daily basis, share yourself with somebody for 24 bar 7 all the time, and nothing about life is changed? Whom are we fooling then? And because of this, it creates confusions and misunderstandings in that side of relationship or this side of relationship. The woman gets married and she conceives and she becomes mother. 9 months of pregnancy, so much about her life changes. She becomes a mother and she will change. And you, as a new born mother, was given birth to a newborn baby, should be able to go and tell your husband or your in-laws or your family, I think this pregnancy has made me this and that. This is how nowadays I have gone through these changes. Now I have become maybe more calmer, become, or maybe more irritable, or whatever the changes. Why don't we update the changes that we go through? For whatever, you make a trip to a foreign country, or you make a trip to an exhibition as a businessman or as a professional, and just one day of exhibition and you see something so fabulous, so many profound inventions, so many amazing things there, and you suddenly feel what business I'm doing is nothing as compared to what you have seen in the exhibition, and you come back with a big expanded mind. You come back to office and say, guys, I think we should change the way we are going to do business. And your office people are stuck. They say, boss pagal ho gaya kya? Yesterday morning he went, he was okay. Suddenly today morning, what happened to him? Because morning boss came, he did not bother to update and upgrade that what changes he had gone through because of seeing the exhibition or getting exposed to the exhibition. If he has said it, shared it, after that the employees, if they don't renew the perception, I think there will be a big mismatch. And that is why there are issues in the office also now. Unwanted gossips will start, unwanted confusions will happen for everybody. Why? Because we change and we do not update our changes. It may not be on a daily basis, I agree with you, but there are times when you go through these changes. And those of you who live a very dynamic life, it's very often it happens to you. And why there is, people say nowadays you don't talk with me much, you don't share much with me, because they don't understand where they have gone wrong. What you don't understand is, I'm not sharing with you nowadays because you're still relating with me what I was earlier. When I go back to Pune, even now, 20, 21 years later, when I go back to Pune and I meet my old friends, and in 20, 21 years, I have grown from where to where. They also have grown in life. I make sure I go and update my, take updates from them, what is happening in their life. And most of them still are living a very, very good, very good, decent lifestyle. But I live a very different lifestyle. They still treat me and relate with me what I was 21 years ago. I'm not able to relate with them the way I relate with so many of you right now, because you and me are updated in relationship. I come back from Bhutan and I share with all of you what changes I have gone through, what is my thought process recently, what all I have learned, whatever I have shared, whatever I have understood, where all I have changed. I keep coming and updating you either in Sampoorna, or I do it in a 9 minutes meditation in the morning, or in some program here or there. Because of this, all of us, or we, are able to relate much more happily, because I keep updating my changes to you. So please, all of you, if you are in case any one of you feel there is a gap between you and the other in relationship, it can be marriage, it can be take parenting. No, children will outgrow the childhood. Parents refuse to outgrow parenthood. हाँ हाँ हाँ, तू हमारे लिए अभी भी बच्चा है, you're still a child to me. अरे come on, how long will you use this stupid dialogue? Still, for my mother, I'm still a child only. I'm not refusing it. She'll remain my mother till the end of her life and my life. Who's taking that back? But if my mom does not renew perception that today she is 76 and her son is 51-year-old, a 51 year, you cannot keep treating me like a small child who I was when I was 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 20 years. If my mother refuses to renew perception about me, which my mom still has not renewed her perception about me, she still feels I am that what I was when I was 27, 28, 30. And I can't help it. I tell mom, please understand today what I am doing, what I have become is very different than, हाँ हाँ कितना भी बड़ा हो गया तू मेरे लिए बच्चा ही रहेगा. I said, yeah, I will always remain your child only, ma, but I have gone through so much in my life. But she doesn't want to renew her perception about me. She's not able to enjoy me, nor I'm able to enjoy her. So many parents, when I work with the children, the teenagers in the college, Kingdom College, which we run, and I see this in, they take admission for 11th standard, first PU, second PU, and degree for 3 to 4 years, 5 years, minimum 2 years they are with me. In 2 years, so much input goes into their head. Their parents refuse to recognize the changes they have gone through. They're not able to enjoy their own children. Why? Because one, children don't go back and update that Papa, Mama, today in the college, this is what Deepak sir taught us, and this is what we have learned. And from today onwards, I am making this change in my life. They don't go and update, and parents don't renew the perception. They see the child is changing, but they refuse to renew the perception, and they're not able to enjoy their own children, nor children are able to enjoy the parent. I'm able to enjoy the kids in the college because I keep seeing them growing in front of my eyes. I keep seeing them. This is what they were, this is what they are. I keep renewing my perception about them. I tell them, I know who you were when you came to the college, and today I know how much you have grown in this last 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years with me, and I cherish that experience with them. I cherish those moments with them. I recognize their changes, and they also keep coming and sharing. This is what we have learned from you. This is what we have brought changes in my life, their lives. So me being 51 and they being 17, 18, 19, 20, we still live at the same level and enjoy as if we are thick friends. That is how you build relationships. That is how you nurture relationships. We will keep changing in our life. You get married, you will change. You become parent, you will change. You have a second child, you will change. From an employee, you become a self-employed, you will change. From a self-employed, you become an organizational person, you will change. Every time you go through an experience, you will change. The best thing you should do is, or what we do not do in relationship is, we just don't go back to our relationships who matter a lot to us and update our change. Number one. And number two, our loved ones on the other side, if they refuse to renew their perception, I think there will be tremendous amount of gap between two of them or few of them, and relationship will keep becoming drier and drier because there's tremendous amount of gap in the relationship. So please, one important lesson that I want to drive into all of you who are watching this online live with me is, please, if you think you have gone through some change or some changes in relationship, then please update your changes. Two, if you have somebody in your life whom you think they are changing in life and you can see it, please do renew your perception. If they come and tell you nothing like it, and if they have told you, do renew your perception so that both of you are on the same pedestal of relationship, so you can enjoy your relationship to the next level. This is the first point which I would discuss with all of you. What all we do not do in relationship, which we should be doing it. Number one. Number two. See, I have reading glasses which I wear. Now, this reading glass, what they have designed for me, they've done my eye checkup and they are given some number. That is the power of this lens. Now, with this, if I see right now, because I only use it while reading, reading my messages, this much I can see with clarity. But if I wear this and now look at, for me, everything looks very blur because I have that, what do you call it as, long-sightedness. With these spectacles, I can see clear. This is my spectacle. So with my spectacle, I have my perception which is very clear to me. Now, one mistake that we end up doing in relationship, which I don't want you to do. Now, I give these spectacles to Vivek, who is my social media guy, and tell him, wear this and now read. With my power, with my lens, I'm able to see clear because this is perfectly suiting to my eyes. When I give my spectacles to Vivek and ask him to read it, he's not able to see clarity. Likewise, he has a spectacle with which he sees what he sees with clarity. That is his perception. Suppose he gives his glasses to me, say, my glasses, I can see everything perfect. You also see through my glasses, spectacles, and he hands over his spectacle to me to see what he is seeing. I will not be able to see the same thing. Right or not right? My spectacles are a fit for me, and what I see is clear to me because it suits my eyesight. His spectacles are perfect for him, it suits his eyesight. His spectacles also are right. My spectacles also are right. But if I give my spectacles to him to see things what I'm seeing, he will not see it the way I'm seeing it. Similarly, when he gives his spectacles to me to see what he's able to see with clarity, I'll not be able to see with clarity. This is just a metaphor. Don't we all do the same thing all our life? We give our spectacles to others to see what we see. They will not be able to see because they have their background, they have their perceptions, they have their maturities, they have their immaturities. How my spectacle will fit into their eyes? A classic example would be this. I've seen this, people getting married, couples getting married, and the boy will tell the girl. So boy has a perception about his mother, and mother-in-law, daughter-in-law is always a very beautiful combination in the world. The most masala you can always find in relationship is mother-in-law, daughter-in-law only. So this boy is telling to the girl about his mother. He looks at his mother from one spectacle. Now whatever he has understood about his mom, he is telling the same story to this girl whom he's going to get married to, and tells, my mom is like this, my mom is like that, my mom does not like this, my mom does like that, blah 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 blah. So whatever perception he has about his mother, he gives that spectacle to the girl and asks the girl to see the mother from the same spectacle to what? Now that's the confusion which we create. Let the girl come inside, let the girl relate with the mother, let the girl relate with the mother-in-law, let the girl build a relationship with the mother-in-law, let the girl go through what she has to go through, and then she will develop her own spectacle to look at the mother-in-law, and that spectacle and the spectacle of the boy will never match, isn't it? All of you have gone through this. But time and again, the man want to give his spectacle. And the most classic dialogue which most men say it on the first night of the marriage is this to the wife: even if you don't take care of me, it is okay. But please take care of my dad and mom. They're everything to me. So he gives his spectacles to his wife and asks her to see his parents the way he sees it. How is it possible? You are a son. She is a daughter-in-law. How can a daughter-in-law see your parents as her biological parents? Not possible. Let's be practical. I know how everybody wishes like that. Only on the marriage day, I will treat her like my daughter. I will treat you like my mom. It's not possible. And people, whenever I say this, people feel very offended. Kya baat karte hai? You speak so negative. Why you speak so negative? What's wrong about? I want to treat my daughter-in-law as my daughter. You cannot treat your daughter-in-law as daughter. You cannot treat your mother-in-law as mother. Mother is mother. Mother-in-law is mother-in-law. Daughter is daughter. Daughter-in-law is daughter-in-law. No, no, no. But I want to. You can shout at your mother like crazy, and next day morning, both of you can behave as nothing happened. Correct? As a daughter-in-law, can you do to your mother like that, mother-in-law like that? As a mother, you can slap your daughter multiple times for her mistake, and next day morning, both of you behave as nothing happened. Can you, as a mother-in-law, slap your daughter-in-law multiple times, and next day morning, both of you can behave as if nothing has happened? Is it possible? Not possible, right? Now you are wanting a daughter-in-law to look at the mother-in-law from the spectacles of the son who looks at mother as mother, and you want your wife to see at mother-in-law as mother. You're confusing the relationship, and that is why all this havoc. So one of them tried to become a daughter or a mother, but the other person has not renewed the perception. No, the daughter, okay, let's keep it. The new girl is willing to treat the mother-in-law as mother, but mother-in-law doesn't want to treat the girl as daughter. She want to treat her as daughter-in-law only. Now both of them different perceptions now. Wrong spectacles we are given to each other. This exact problem happens in spirituality also. See, one Guruji or somebody gets enlightened and he's now called a spiritual teacher, a spiritual guru, or a yogi, or a Mahatma. Now, whatever he or she went through was her personal, private, enlightening moment. That's her, that's his. Guys, we are unique people. This is one common thing the whole world shouts at. The whole thing is God created all of us as masterpieces. God made us all unique people. Nobody like us. Nobody like us. There is nothing. God does not repeat anything in life. No two leaves of the same branch of the same tree are similar. Boss, if two leaves of the same branch and the same tree are not similar, how can two people have a similar spiritual experience? When man woman both make love to each other, what the man go through in the state of orgasm and what women go through the same state of orgasm is not the same experience, right? Two human beings holding the hands of each other, two lovers watching a sunset, same sunset, both of them watch, and what he feels and what she feels cannot be the same. Then how can a spiritual experience, what one person has gone through, can be shared with everybody else? How it is possible? How it is possible? Whatever he or she experienced, that spiritual experience cannot be everybody's spiritual experience. Now, what has happened is this Guruji now, he gone through a spiritual enlightenment. Beautiful, you're a blessed soul. But what mistake people don't do is they want this is what you will go through when you this is what you went through. That does not mean everybody will go through the similar experience, because that person, those followers of yours or disciples of yours are unique temperamentally. Every breath of theirs is unique, from their breathing pattern to the laughing pattern to the crying pattern to the fingerprint to the voice print to the eyes print. Everything is different for every human being. Then how everybody will go through with the same spiritual experience what that Guruji went through, and in the name of this is what you will. And the Guruji creates the perception what his experience is absolutely true. Nobody is doubting it. Nobody is questioning it. Now, what he or she went through when they try to conceptualize the whole thing, now they are giving the spectacle of a spiritual enlightenment to multiple people. Now everybody wants that experience. Come on. You can never have it. You can never have it. What I feel in the depth of my spiritual experience, you will never be able to feel. And what you go through, you will never be able to feel. I'll never be able to feel. As simple as the food that all of us together share in the same plate, how it tastes to me and how it tastes to you cannot be the same. Something as physical, basic, gross thing cannot be similar experience. How are we able to give a spiritual perception to people and misguiding people for centuries together? And followers also blindly following, not able to question how can that Guruji's spiritual experience I also will go through. No, you cannot go through. And why are the spiritual masters not telling this to everybody? What you are going through is your experience. What I went through was my experience. That is my enlightenment. That is your enlightenment. Just because the followers have not experienced what the master has experienced doesn't mean that follower, the disciple, has not gone through a spiritual experience. Because the spiritual master or a guru has now given a perception. I'm talking about those who don't understand it completely. There are those beautiful, amazing, sincere spiritual masters who tell what you're going through, that's what is your experience. You'll never be able to experience what I've experienced. Arjuna saw the Virat Swarup of Krishna. Other people saw some other Swarup of Krishna. Meera did not see the Virat Swarup of Krishna. That does not mean she never experienced Krishna. Radha did not see the Virat Swarup of Krishna the way Arjuna saw. But what Radha saw also was Krishna only, right? What Radha felt was Krishna only. Arjuna saw what, because Arjuna was unable to understand all that he was telling, and Krishna realized at one point of time he has to be shown me my the real thing which will make him understand, and that is how he showed everything. I am one, everything in me, and I am in everything, and that was revealed to Arjuna. That also is Krishna. Mira's Krishna also is Krishna. Radha's Krishna is also Krishna. Yashoda's Krishna is also Krishna. That is how she experienced Krishna. That is how Devaki experienced Krishna. That is how everybody experienced Krishna in different forms. But it was the same Krishna, right? Now we are giving perception to everybody. This is how. And this is what mistake we do in spiritual relationships. This is what we do in materialistic relationship. This is how we do it in all our relationship, including emotional relationship. Please, for God's sake, do not give your perception about the other person to the third person. Let them have their first-hand experience. Let them build their own perception. They will relate to the person with their perception. They'll be peaceful. Because my spectacles, I can see my mom clearly. With my spectacles, if I give it to you to see my mom, you will see only blur. You will not see the clear mom. You develop your own spectacles to see my mom. I have my spectacles to see my mom. You develop your own spectacles to see my mom. It might take some time to you. You take time. But let's not hand over our perceptions about something. Now, these Chennai auto people are like that only. That is your perception. You were being made fool, or you became fool there. That does not mean you can brand everybody in Chennai auto people are like that. This is how all Marwadis are like that. This is how all Sadardis are like that. This is how all Maharashtrians are. This is how all North Indians. This is how all South Indians. I remember I was flying to, I think, Pune a few months back, and I was in the restroom, and another nearby, next to I think next can't say slot. Next toilet was one more guy sitting inside, and God knows what he was upset about the whole thing. And I think it was not little, it may be little dirty. And he suddenly shouted from me, "Is these bloody South Indians?" I said, how does it matter? You're sitting in a toilet. Where is the question of North Indian and South Indian here? But he has built a perception about South Indians. And please, let's not share our perception about somebody. That was your experience with that person. That does not mean the same experience everybody will have. Don't create perceptions just because you had a good or a bad experience about somebody, and then make that perception as common perception and give it to your loved ones. And that is how prejudiced mindset is created. That is how we create those self blocks in relationship. That is how we've been. Why mother-in-law, daughter-in-law is a major issue is the kind of prejudices mindset we have created. And that is how the girls have been brought up. That is how the boys have been brought up. And I think we have created this perception about everybody. You also watching this live with me, you also listen to me for first time, those are watching me for the first time, you also will develop your own perception about 100 things. And your perception about me may be real, may not be real. Only time will reveal. But doesn't matter. That is not important. If you have a right perception about me from your perspective, I will look right to you. If you develop a wrong perception about me from your perspective, I will look wrong to you. I'm right or wrong is not important. What is your perception about me? That matters a lot. I always tell people, if anyway everything about life is matter of perception only now, then why not to create a good perception about everybody? For your personal peace, for your personal happiness, it's actually wonderful to create right and good perception about everybody by giving them the benefit of doubt. ठीक है ना? It's okay now. And you build the perception and you enjoy. Like I relate with people, 99 out of 100, I enjoy everybody. Once in a while, maybe I get little confused with understanding of people. Maybe I have got a wrong perception about somebody. It's very rarely. But I enjoy almost all my relationship because I people come and tell me also. I think somebody has told bad about me to you. I said I'm not a fool to listen to somebody coming and telling me about you. I have related with you, and I know who you are to me, and I will relate to you that what it means to me. Somebody comes and tells me you are a fool. That doesn't mean I will take the spectacles and say, oh, he really looks like a fool. I'm not that fool to do that. Somebody comes and tells me he is, and whatever he or she, they, whatever they think about you, I don't those buy this perception because I know their spectacles. That is how they look at you, and they're trying to give their spectacle to me. I don't take those spectacles. I have my own spectacles to look at my life, my world, my people, all the people. And that is why I build my own perception about people. I don't borrow and I don't buy other people's spectacles at how they look at people. I have my own personal experiences with everybody, and then only I have built my perception. And I build my perception, I build it very carefully. I only choose to look at the right side of them, good side of them, beautiful side of them, and make them as my perception. They have their own flaws like the way I have. They have their limitations the way I have. They have their own flaws the way I have. How I don't want people to look at my wrong side and bad side and rough side. Similarly, I choose not to look at the wrong side, bad side, rough side of people, and make the only beautiful part of them as my perception, as my spectacles. And I enjoy, like I gave the example of rose flower in the last session, or maybe previous to that. Look at the freshness, the color, the beauty, and experience the fragrance of the rose flower, and hold it like this. And that stem which has thorns, ignore it, overlook it, chhod do usko, and choose to create only this much perception of redness, beauty, fragrance, freshness, and I enjoy the rose flower. My perception is only till here. This I choose to drop it. And that's how I build my own perception about people. And I choose to build it positive, progressive, beautiful, right, good. And that's how you can enjoy more with people than borrowing somebody's spectacles. So, my dear friends, today we learned few things. One, we change, and we should update our change in the relationship so that they can renew the perception about you. Otherwise, if you don't update your changes that you go through in life, and if they do not renew the perception about you, there will be tremendous gap between two of you, and you will realize for no reasons there is tremendous amount of dryness that is coming to relationship, and the story is slowly falling apart, or it's just like that status quo. One, two, very important point: do not give your spectacles of perception about somebody to somebody else to look at that person. It will create confusions in the relationship. You have your own spectacles, build your own perceptions about the person by choosing to see the right side, beautiful side, positive side, good side of the person, and build relationship. Don't get carried away by the influence of others. Their experiences are their experiences. That is not your experiences. Don't borrow their experiences and keep expecting I should also feel the same. It is not possible. Like the example I quoted about the spiritual experiences, they are unique for each one of them. God made all of us different, and we all will have different experiences, even if it's a spiritual enlightenment. We all will have different. There are no similar spiritual experiences, no similar emotional experiences, no similar physical experiences, no similar mental experiences, because we all are unique people and we have the right to be unique. That's all from my side. If you want to listen to this sessions on life, this is right now going through relationship management series. If you want to continue to listen to this, please do like it, share it, and subscribe it, so that we reach out to more number of people and let more number of people live a beautiful, simple life the way I and few of them live. Thank you so much. Love you so much. Happy night. Bye. Here we go.